And now, the daddy. Well, maybe not the daddy. St. Denis would be the daddy. But this is the one that everyone knows. If you don't, you probably should. We have Notre Dame in Paris. It's not the biggest. It's not the most ornate. But it's the one that gets probably the most play because of where it's located. It's specifically in Paris, right smack dab in the middle. Started about the same time as its sister ones, Chartres and Reims, and Amiens. It has the large 3 portals on the western side, but it's known for 2 very specific things. Not that the other ones didn't have it, but it's known for 2 very specific things. One, it's known for the first true flying buttress. Now, we've talked about this just a second. Now, how did they achieve height? How did they achieve those grand interiors in the Gothic cathedrals? They did it through rib vaulting and flying buttresses. Now, what the heck is a flying buttress? See these things out here? Way out here. Over here on the far left where the 2 bell towers are, that is your western entrance, the royal portal. This big mammy-jammy here in the middle on the transept would be your rose window. And then the curved kind of area out here that looks kind of like a ship. Did you know that nave is a word for ship? Just a little FYI for you there. This little curved area out here where the altar would be, and the ambulatory and the little chapels around the ambulatory, and these things right here, those little spines coming out, pushing up against, that allows for height. Those are called flying buttresses. When you're stacking stone, you just keep stacking it and stacking it and stacking it and stack it. What it wants to do is it wants to push outward. It wants to fall. So you put these flying buttresses in, and they say, nope, you shall not. And it keeps everything upright. Then when you put the top on it, it keeps everything in place. So, first flying buttresses, yay Notre Dame. This is what Notre Dame is known for. If you look right here, it's on the north side of the transept. That's your rose window. All sorts. People from the figures from the Bible. Down below you have you have apostles and kings and queens and all sorts. But it's just glass after glass after glass after glass. Not painted glass, stained glass. So you can't just chip it off. The color of the glass is within the glass. It's a giant mosaic made in glass. So here comes the light of God just pouring through there on that north side. Just fills the interior. Mix that with your clerestory windows. It's kind of hard not to be reminded of who put you there and who helped this place be built. Just a little detail of what a flying buttress looks like. Notice that there's 2 levels of them. You have the taller, bigger ones that stick out further. They hold up the top part. The little kind of short, squatty ones, they hold up the bottom part. Okay. Let's look at a few things. We've seen the big ones. We've seen the big dogs. Now I'm going to show you a few of my favorites, my personal favorites that are a little different. Okay? So this one that I'm going to show you here is the Palace Chapel of King Louis IX. His collection of relics, most kings stole theirs or got their relics through wars. King Louis IX, he bought them. It cost him 40,000, it's a livre, it's Livres, livre. It was the French dollar at the time. He built the entire chapel for 40,000 livres. His most prized relic cost 135,000 livres. Okay? It's a court style cathedral because it's small, it's petite, it's his personal chapel. It looks like a giant reliquary. It kind of looks like a coffin. Not in a creepy way, but just a big box. The big one, the big relic, he's got the crown of thorns. Not all of it, just part of it. He's got the vinegar-soaked sponge that they pressed to Jesus' lips while he was on the cross. Has an actual nail, supposedly, from the crucifixion. And it has a piece of the true cross. The one that I showed you a few lessons back, a few lectures back. There was a piece of the true cross in that little bitty ornate enameled box. Louis's he's got a piece too. He's also got the metal tip from the lance that pierced the side of Jesus. And it took 5 years from beginning to end, but the main part of it took 2 years to build. That's quick. And you end up with this box. Remember, we looked back and we saw the reliquary of Canterbury Cathedral? Kind of looks like that. Just like a little box. Looks like you could take the top part where right here. Looks like you could just twist it off and there'd be something down inside of it. But that's not why I like this particular one, okay? This is called Sainte-Chapelle. This is right outside the palace there in Paris. So he could just walk straight to it. And there's another side of it. It's not very big, okay? Here's a little piece of the reliquary, or the relic of the crown of thorns that he paid 135,000 livres for. If it only takes you 40,000 livres to build the thing, the whole place, the box, and it cost you 135,000 livres to buy the main relic, just the one relic, to put inside of it, is that equivalent to buying like a $900 car and putting like a $10,000 stereo system in it? We'll let you guys debate that. We have ribbed vaulting. This is the lower chapel in Sainte-Chapelle. Okay, it's very ornate though. You still have some mosaic stuff going on and hand painted and gilding and gold leafing and all that sort of stuff. So ornate to the nth degree, very garish, but that's okay. Garish is good. Here's another part of the lower chapel. I'm kind of building up here if you don't quite figure that out yet. But this is why Sainte-Chapelle is known. It's got a little rose window. Okay, yeah. Notre Dame's got a rose window too. But Sainte-Chapelle's got some serious stained glass. The entire walls are made of nothing but stained glass. 6,458 square feet of stained glass. 1,130 different people from the Bible. 1,130 different people from the Bible in stained glass. Not carvings, just stained glass. Everywhere you can possibly think of. The sad thing is during the 18th century, they used it as an office for the palace. And they had filing cabinets in here. Just filing cabinet after filing cabinet after filing cabinet. That's one heck of a storage room if you ask me. But I'm biased. This is what's called the upper chapel. This is the past three that I've shown you is the upper chapel. The lower chapel, there's not very much, there's no stained glass. It's just very ornate painting. But the upper chapel of Sainte-Chapelle is just insane. It's all glass. Just on and on and on. As far as the eye can see is nothing but glass. Let's jump countries, shall we? We've been in France. We've seen France. Yeah, we've seen France. Let's go out on the Salisbury Plain. You may have heard of something else out on the Salisbury Plain. It's called Stonehenge. Well, a little bit down the road, keep going, and you'll end up at Salisbury Cathedral. Built in the same, not the exact same time period, a little later than some of the ones in France, but it's built in the same plan. for the most part. You have your Latin cross. You have your Gothic style. You get very ornate. You have your twin bell towers. You have your royal portal on the western side. Those sorts of things. So this was going on in quite a few countries. It wasn't just going on in France. It started in France, perfected in France, seen quite a bit in France, but not only in France. We see it in Florence. Okay, this is Florence Cathedral. You can always tell Florence Cathedral because it's got that bright red dome on top of it. Cologne Cathedral in Germany. We're getting real Gothic now, just by the look of it. It's starting to look like the types of things that they put in movies whenever they're trying, think a Batman movie, Gothic looking, Gotham, get it? So it's starting to get more and more ornate and a little bit creepy looking, especially at night and that sort. Notice how long it took to build this one. This one's in Cologne, and it took roughly 600 years to build. Only. This is the fun thing that is inside of it. This is the relic that is inside Cologne Cathedral. It's one of my favorites. It's just the Shrine of the Three Kings, as in the Three Kings, as in we three kings, as in the Magi that came on the night of Jesus' birth. Supposedly it has their remains inside. Cologne Cathedral is big. It's really big. Not just tall. It's big. Massive big. It's intimidating big type of thing. It takes up the skyline of Cologne to the nth degree. You can identify it by its twin bell towers and just look for the very, very ornate, almost spiky kind of, it almost looks like a vampire would live there. Hopefully not, but it's very much it's very intimidating looking and flat-fronted compared to some of the ones that you see in France that are a little lighter looking. Here's a fun little fact about Cologne Cathedral. This is part of the stained glass that is in Cologne Cathedral. But the stained glass was so damaged through wars, World War I, World War II, that they decided to have a competition to replace it. But that competition wasn't until later, and they asked a few different artists to propose changes that could be made. And this one was the winner, but it was also very controversial. Well, that's why. It's pixels. This particular piece of stained glass was done by an artist named Gerhard Richter, who is still alive today, and he is probably considered to be one of the modern masters. He's been making works since probably the 60s or so. And on the right is kind of like what the stuff he's doing nowadays. He went through photorealism, and he's interested in the way we view images. And in a digital age, if you zoom way in on an image, well, it kind of looks like they're on the right-hand side. So he decided that he would do an entire piece of stained glass based on pixels and bring the church into the modern world, into the 21st century. So here's a detail of it. This was from 2007 when he made it. It's not individual pieces of glass. It's like a sheet of glass behind all of the tracery, which all the frames and stuff around it. So there's not framework around each individual pixel. But it has this, it brings the church, Cologne Cathedral, very much into the 21st century right away. And for some folks, they didn't like that.